State Farm, John & Giselle, Los Amigos Mexican Restaurant, Comcast, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of the West, PG&E, Wells Fargo, Union Bank, Bank of America, Chevron, and Fresno First Bank. Thank you so much for all your support. This is So this morning, I'd like to call Angie, who is our public relations manager. She's going to be asking for your help this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Angie. I'm the public relations manager with the foundation. And today I would like to ask you for a little favor. If you guys can please pull out your phones at this time, check into Los Amigos Mexican Restaurant for our Negociantes Unidos. We're trying to create more awareness about the foundation and about our breakfast meeting so we can get an even better turnout every single time that we have this event. Thank you, guys. Oh, hashtag BFAHS, lowercase THE, uppercase FAHS. And this is our Instagram handle, Twitter, Facebook, Fresno AHS. And feel free to tag us. Thank you.
So this is the only time we'll introduce your phone at this morning. I'm just kidding. So to continue on with the program, I'd like to call our board member, William, to do our introductions this morning.
Thank you, Yeti. Buenos dias, everyone.
Yes.
I am the designated pitch hitter. Dora this week has been invited to. She's attending a very distinguished and well-established training program back east. So while she's gone, once again, I have the opportunity to try to entertain you. I will try to get this moving quickly because obviously I know the business is out there, not necessarily indoors. I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed seeing the camaraderie, the discussion, and the socialization of all of you today. It's so nice to see everybody talking and talking about your business, your relationships, what we do, and of course that's what we're here for, to hopefully open doors, to make us and our community and our people more successful. Before I get started, I do want to recognize the board members that are here this morning. I did see Sandra. Sandra, stand up, please. And Roberto is here. Geraldo, where are you, Geraldo? There he is. And then, of course, Ricardo, it's his restaurant, so thank you, Ricardo. Absolutely, thank you very much. And before we started, I was talking briefly with Supervisor Quintero, and he had told me how proud he is of the strength of this organization and how much we've grown. And those of you who have been here with us for quite a while, you can see how much we've grown. And once again, we couldn't have done it without you. But also, it's very important that it appears that other minority, Latino, other organizations are also growing in the valley. And it's nice because we are also working together. That's, I think, a very valuable thing in a way that we're going to grow and strengthen our voice and to ensure that we get the assets, the things that we need for our community and our people. So speaking of Council Member Sal Quintero, I'd like to invite him up next. Supervisor, sorry.
Thank you, Bill, and good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, thank you, class. We'll do that in class. It's really a pleasure to be here this morning and have coffee and share some of the stories with you. I see a lot of familiar faces, and I want to congratulate you for the successful gala that we saw recently. I see a lot of faces that were there. And also, I want to also compliment and thank a friend of mine, known him for many years, and has always done his best for the community and also in having the business where it complements the chamber and always supports it. Is Ricardo Torres. Ricardo, thank you very much for providing. I met Ricardo when my hair was dark, so I don't know what happened. This morning, one of the things that we like to do is, as a member of the Board of Supervisors, one of the committees that I'm on is called the Amtrak San Joaquin. And what it has to do is with the Amtrak services that are being provided. I can tell you that the Amtrak has grown, and the folks that were on the board at that in previous years have worked very hard to make it successful and business friendly as well for a lot of the business people and folks that want to travel up and down the state. The one important thing that's going to be presented to you this morning of the Amtrak services is that of now, those of you that have had meetings in Sacramento, business meeting type things, and they say, well, it's an 8 o'clock meeting, you check with Amtrak, and you don't get there until 10 o'clock. So one of the services that the overall committee has worked hard on is providing earlier services to Sacramento. And in that way, you'll be able to have your meetings up there and come back on Amtrak and work there on Amtrak. So it's going to be a very valuable service because it gives you the opportunity to do a lot of the work that you need to do while you're on Amtrak. The other good thing that happened is that the company that's doing the marketing for this program is based out of Fresno. It's Jeffrey Scott Advertising, and they've been doing marketing for some years. There was a commercial on a few months back during the holidays where it showed people looking out the window of the Amtrak. This is going down to some pictures of the valley. That was Jeffrey Scott. Great commercial. And anyway, the owner of Jeffrey Scott is here today, and I'll have him do the presentation. One of the big questions that's come up has been, well, how is this going to affect the high-speed rail once that gets going? And I can assure you that what it's going to do is it's going to complement. They're going to complement each other. So with that, I'd like to introduce Bruce Batty. He's the one that will be making the presentation, and he's the owner of Jeffrey Scott.
Thank you, Ben. As Sal mentioned, we now have 3 railroads in Fresno, of course, high-speed rail, which they are currently working on. Amtrak, we are the moderate speed rail that is in our valley. And then, as chairman of the Storyland Playland Board, I have to also tell you, we have low-speed rail out at the park, so it goes really slow, but it's really cool. You should take your kids out there to see. So I double plugged this morning. I'm going to walk you through just a little bit about Amtrak. And Amtrak, as Sal mentioned, there's a joint powers authority that was formed in 2015, so that we took local control over the line. The San Joaquin is a line that runs from Bakersfield all the way to Sacramento, and it tees off and goes from Stockton to Oakland. And that is the stations that the SJJPA, which is hard to say as an acronym, serves every day. And like anything that has local control, good things come out of it. Because they have boots on the ground, they know what services are needed. Last year there was a 7th train that was added. We should have just 6 trains on the line. They added the 7th train for some capacity issues. Now we're about ready to kick off an early morning express so you can go to Sacramento. And it is, in fact, the first time a train has ever originated out of Fresno. So there will be a yard with this purpose. So there are some economic benefits that happen because of that. And a little known fact is out of all those cities I just mentioned, Oakland, Bakersfield, Sacramento, Fresno has the highest amount of ridership out of any station that is on the line. So for once, anyone who has lived in the Valley a long time knows that sometimes we don't get our fair share. Sal's voice on the JPA board is rather large because the number one station in terms of ridership comes right from here. There are the counties that are represented. As you can see, there are quite a few. Is that a little blurry? Is that just me? I don't know. I'm promises right now. Maybe questioning his work. Spring will lead from here, and anyone from Fresno North can be in Sacramento by 8 a.m. I'll show you the chart with some math that we can do, and it's sort of cool. And how many people here have ridden the train in the last 5 years? Raise your hand. Well, that's a goodly amount of you. We appreciate that. I'm an avid train rider. I have two daughters who are in San Francisco, so I can tell you right now on Friday, if I get on the train at 10 o'clock from my office, and by 3:30, I am in my hotel room in San Francisco. That next morning, I have not paid $60 to that hotel to store my car overnight, and another $60 the next night. So I've already paid for my tickets, and they bought half of I get $30 more. They bought half of a drink, probably is all. Buying in San Francisco, but still compliments of Amtrak. And the other thing I'll mention, I get a lot of stuff done on that Friday on that train. So if we start to look at some of those attributes, Amtrak has free Wi-Fi, so I don't know if you notice when you get on an airplane and your smartphones have a Wi-Fi airplane mode where you will have to turn it off. And I feel bad saying that because Kevin is right over there. But on Amtrak, when you get on an Amtrak, there is no turn your phone off. In fact, there is Wi-Fi service that is complimentary all the way through. So you are reading emails. If you are like me, you have time to prep for meetings, as opposed to if I'm driving, I have to have my assistant read me stuff on papers. But when I am on Amtrak, let's get so we don't have to make those optometrist meetings. You can bring your smartphones out and cancel. But sometimes, I don't know if you're like me, you might not be ultimately on 100% prep for that meeting you have up in Sacramento. So you have the ability for those 3 hours to actually be looking at your computer, working, emailing folks, and going about your workaday world. Because I guarantee you folks have got someplace, you take your smartphone out, and you are triaging like crazy trying to figure out which are the most important emails. Here, you're doing that all the way through. So for peace of mind, I highly recommend it. There's the ability, depending on how many folks are going, that you can actually save money. Parking is just one of those things. And the other nice part is on the way back, you can actually get up early, have children in the house. This is a great time to catch some hard on the train. And lastly, there's an aesthetics that the train is still just, there's a lot of fun to be on. I've ridden the train literally 20 times probably in the last year, and each and every time I look forward to it. There are new things I see along the way, anything from the Air Museum that's up there in Atwater. If you are going over to Oakland and you see the water features that are there once you get past the Antioch, it is literally beautiful. I will give you this tip: sit on the right-hand side of the train when you leave Fresno, and you get all the water features. Sit on the left-hand train, mostly refineries. So there's a tip for you as you go through. So like I said, there are options for the train that give you a lot of aesthetics that go along. Here is the actual schedule. Fresno will leave at, there's 3 times in the morning that the train leaves now. 4:25, that will get you in Sacramento at 7:45. If you're going to the Capitol, you can literally walk and you're there in 5 minutes. Leaves here at 5:15 and it gets you there at 8:36. So if some of you want to do a 9 o'clock meeting, that is potential. And then another one that leaves right before 8 o'clock and gets there just before lunch at 11:15. The return times are also up there. So if you're doing a half a day in Sacramento, so we're doing 8 to 12:30 and 12:41, you get back on the train and you're back in Fresno before 4 o'clock. If you want to do the full day at 8 to 5 in Sacramento, you're still back at the station at 8:40 home at 9 o'clock. So we're trying to make that as user-friendly as possible. And I know one of the things the people will always say, having a time to go, that is great, but now I don't have a car, so you drop me off at a train station, what do I do? So several things. There's a lot of transit that gets, and we call it the last mile, in answering that question. So there are a lot of hubs with connectivity. One of those things being in Sacramento, you'll have a regional transit, and there's tickets you can buy right on the train to get you to that place. There is obviously Lyft and or Uber, depending on your preference. And in Fresno, we tend to use Lyft. Okay, when I say we, I mean me. We tend to use Lyft maybe when we're going to leave someplace and we're feeling like our blood alcohol content might be and that's, we don't use it much for business purposes, quite frankly. But I am suggesting here that once you get to this train station, that you can very inexpensively, if you're traveling with 2 or 3 other people, it's costing $5 to $8 that trip. And the ability not to have to park and do all of those other logistics with me that made this really easy thing to do. And also there's connectivity to 8 and other corridors that are along the way. So we think that it is really a trip that we ask for in the valley. Having local control, this is what the JPA said is important to folks here. So we are about ready to kick this off on May 7th for that very first run. We have a golden ticket. There could be chocolate involved, I'm sure. But you can buy those tickets. We are inviting all of you to be on that inaugural flight. There's going to be some really cool people. I will personally promise you 10 minutes with Sal Quintero. He'll be in a special seat. We'll be sharing the people over there. You can see what you want. You can talk to him. Later you get to Sacramento, you can buy a few politicians. It's rather inexpensive dinner as well. And you will be home by 5 o'clock. I call that a productive May 7th. So we invite you to go on to learn more there. Lisa will be here, and she is more than happy to help folks sign up for any other information. We have other things that you can do to help this service get launched and but it really does have some nice financial impact for us here in the Valley. So share the news with others. Let them know that this is going on when you see them. If you're going to Sacramento, take a look at that. If you haven't been on the train in a while, I would encourage it. It really is a cool ride. We'll have a sign-up booth here, and then we'll have kind of toolkits, so it makes all this stuff very easy to share in this day and age. With international rack cars. If there's somebody else you think we should talk to, I invite you to Lita or I'm more than happy to torture them the same way I'm torturing you right now. And so it sort of sounds like fun. And then you can always follow us on San Joaquin's social media or hashtag San Joaquin's or hashtag us on the track. Those are always popular things to do. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer a few of those right now before we give it up to Kevin, and you can learn something about another modality travel.
What was the fare around
Sacramento back and forth, I want to say $44 round trip. So, I believe it. Oh, $54 round trip. See, that's why you never ask me. It's still rather inexpensive. I was just astonished. Any other questions? May 7th? Well, much like Bart at the end of a Niners game or a Giants game, you can always add we're Doritos, you know, keep eating them more and more. That's what they're looking for. Generally, they run truthfully with 6 cars, so there's 5 cars, each car has about 70 to 80, and then there's a cafe car that runs in the center of the train. That's like that little days. Any other questions? All right, well, here we go.
Are there any other, like I used to take one, it sounds like something. Is there any other sorts of things that you can go up here in the Bay Area?
Yeah, so I said I go to the Bay Area to visit my kids. So when you get to Stockton, you buy the ticket at Stockton, you will hang a left and head over to, if you go to the Bay Area, you have 3 options to get into the city. You can get off, you go all the way to Oakland. There is the ferry there, and I have done this, it's awesome. You get on the ferry, it takes you and drops you right off the ferry building, and you're take either you can take part to your hotel or whatever you want from that point. You can stop in Emeryville, you get on the bus, it has priority across the bridge, so you can laugh at everybody who was back way up halfway to Oakland, and they will drop you off at the Transbay station, which is just very close to downtown, and that little bus ride is about 15 minutes long in total, or you can get off in Martinez, and they have a BART station that they share track, so you walk across the stairs, you get on that platform and you get BART into the city. So 3 ways to get there. It's all the same price regardless of how you want to get. I suggest the ferry thing is a lot of fun. And it's like pretty much time to go, sort of wakes you up a little bit in the face, never a bad thing. Yes, sir.
Question, you mentioned staying up there at hotel after taking campsite. What is the security situation? I presume you have to park your car down at the train station. Can you get back a day or 2 days later and is everything always safe? Do you have good security in the parking area?
That's an excellent question, and one we are, Sal and his group, obviously take very seriously. So currently there is a gated parking lot. So when you go in and book your ticket, you have the ability to get a pass. It's free, and that is a monitored guarded parking lot 24/7. And then they've also, because of this, rented the community hospital parking lot, if you know where that is, just next to St. John's Church, just to the west of it. They've also got 60 to 70 stalls there that they're leasing from the city of Fresno. So they have that, which will also be guarded. So you'll have parking. Truthfully, if you're doing the morning train, and I will point out that one of the reasons for that morning train is you do not have to stay in Sacramento. If you want to do business 8 to 5 and come to Fresno now, you can do that in one contiguous day. But if you so choose, you can park there and come out the next day. 2 different parking lots. Passes are required because they are monitored. They understand that nothing do very well if your cars are susceptible. Sometimes I think that I haven't had an office in downtown Fresno and worked there since 1976. I've never had my car broken into. I've had my car broken into at other places up north I don't want to mention. So, it is a thing that you have to always look at, but I want to make sure that the downtown perception, our stigma isn't, sometimes it's more perception than real. All right? Awesome. Well, I appreciate you inviting us out this morning to chat with you. And like I said, the last week we talked to 5 people decided to take the train on May 7th. So I will go around personally and I will invite you to join us on that trip. There'll be a lot of cool things happen. There's tours. Once we get there, you'll see the itinerary that is on the table. So
what's the interface between high-speed rail and regular trains?
Yeah, I think a lot of people look at that thinking that, okay, high-speed rail is coming in and in fact be obsolete. But currently, and there are people on the JPA board that have worked on both platforms. So what you're looking for is high-speed rail is going to be point A on long throws, and Amtrak is probably going to become a shorter throw train. So take the Sacramento area, there'll be those east to west corridors that tie you into the high-speed rail, so you can take Amtrak to get to a hub and go there. Conversely, if I'm going to go down to Hanford, the Superior's Dairy with my kid to have some ice cream and come back, I'm probably not going to go down to 5,000 miles an hour. That's about a 2-minute trip, so Amtrak will take a shorter run still as well. So I think it's not finalized. I think the big picture is short trip, long trip between the two. And once again, slow trip, Storyland, Playland, which is really 15 minutes, and you go about 500 feet, so I'll throw that in one more time. All right, thank you, everybody. Appreciate
it. It's so wonderful. One of the great benefits of coming to these breakfasts is every now and then you find someone and you say, I would love to hang out with that guy. And make sure I get your card because I'd love to hang out with you, Mr. Bennett. You seem like a wonderful man. I had a very late night at Fresno State last night. The fog's just starting to come off. So I apologize. Sandra is not here, but Rosa is here. Rosa, I apologize. And of course, Supervisor Quintero. it's so hard to keep track of all his former positions and so on and so forth. But thank you both very much. So now I have the pleasure of introducing our guest speaker. And so today we have the pleasure of hearing from Kevin Michael. And Kevin Michael is the Chief Executive Officer for Negociantes Unidos International and Chandler Airport. Some really impressive notes here is that FAP, as we call it, accommodates over 1.5 million passengers annually. That's fantastic. And has enjoyed 27% growth since 2010. Mr. Michael has served as director of our airport for 15 years. Thank you very much. And during his tenure, the Fresno airports have provided or utilized $150 million of work in regards to improving and completing runways, taxiways, rental car terminals, international arrival facilities, and ongoing noise mitigation, which is very important to the airport. Mr. Michael has a bachelor's degree from Cal Poly, and he's an architect. Without further ado, Mr. Michael, thank you. Please welcome Mr.
Okay, well, before I start and tell you about a different mode of transportation, just put it on the screen. Bruce is absolutely right. I mean, the train is fantastic, and people say, why don't we have air service to Sacramento? Well, the reality is, it's too short a distance for the airlines to really be successful. So the answer is, we do have service to Sacramento. It's Amtrak. Absolutely. And in fact, last year I was on business in Providence, Rhode Island, and I had to get to Manhattan. And it was not convenient to fly, and I did take Amtrak, and I did have a lot of work done. It's about the same distance as Sacramento, 3 hours, open the laptop. No, I didn't have to wait for the meal cart to come through the aisle. I could get up and relax in the cafe car, right? So there's definitely advantages, and the price was right. So that's pretty exciting. That will be utilized. So I get a lot of questions. When are we going to have direct service to Sacramento? Well, we would all love it, and I think there would be a lot of ridership, but the realities are the economics don't work for the airlines, but they do for air. That's fantastic. Anyway, so the airport. So what's going on? So this is kind of a new thing I've done. Tell people, like, what do we really do? What is an airport? I mean, us, me and all my staff and everything. Well, we work on air service development. Think of us like and this is oversimplified, like a mall, like a fashion fair, right? So the airport, so the mall is the terminal and the runways and the parking lots are all around the mall. And inside the mall is a whole bunch of tenants, right? Anchor tenants are airlines. And other tenants like the gift and news and the beverage and Starbucks and all this kind of thing. And so we operate the facility. We make sure everything is operationally efficient. We look forward for growth. We prepare, and just like a business would do, so that our tenants, the airlines, can be successful at our facility, and that the cost of those airlines operating out of our facilities are within the industry standards. Not too much, not too little. It pays our bills, and they're successful, and that's how you grow air service. We are a major driver of economic activity, which I think we all know, and we're a transportation connection really to the world. How do we do it? We do stay in constant contact with the airlines all the time, not just the ones that are here, but the ones that aren't here. We do manage, and this is what's key, the second bullet here, we do manage the airport in a fiscally responsible manner. It's 100% user fee. We make sure that whoever uses the airport, whether it's the airlines whether it's to get the news, whether it's rental car activity, whether it's us parking in the parking lot. Everybody needs to pay their fair share, but not more than they should, so that it's balanced and no one group of users is subsidizing another, and that's what we really try to do. The FAA has very strict rules about that. The industry has metrics we look at, and it's what helps make this, it's like a corporation, successful. And of course, we market the airport. So how are we doing? So we are growing. We're probably going to have another record year in 2018. I hope we may actually top 1.6 million passengers. That's both ways, in and out. Morelia started at the holidays in December, and it's been going really, really well. Polaris is very happy with it. And I'll talk about the potential of more international service in a bit. Chicago starts in June. Frontier starts May 22nd. So a lot of good things happening. And we are just within the next month finishing up a master plan for the airport. And what that's going to do is, how does this airport need to grow? Kind of like what Amtrak is doing here in the Valley. How do we address our future needs? How does the airport need to grow over the next 20 years? And then how do we get there? Are we going to be able to afford to pay for it without overburdening anybody? And I believe the answer to all that is going to be yes. For a regional airport, we're actually doing really good. We have 13 nonstops to 8 major airline hubs. That's a big deal. That means you can pretty much connect anywhere you need to go. And the very bottom, we just recently completed a study. Annually, the airport is responsible for 9,300 direct, induced, and indirect jobs here in the region, and a $788 million annual economic impact to the region. That's what the airport represents too, not only our community, but the surrounding region. So, just real quickly, and many of you know this, that's a pretty impressive service pattern for a smaller airport like us. The next largest airport in California, by the way, is Long Beach, and that's because they have JetBlue, and they have about, they're a little less than twice the size of us. Palm Springs, which is really a leisure type market, a lot of people from Canada, we're real close in size to them. Just to give you an idea, the blue, that's pretty much, the airlines do zip code studies. This is pretty much the area where people are from that use our airport. 1.8 million people approximately in this area. And what's interesting is, so we've done a study, that everybody who flies within what we call our catchment area, this 1.8 million population, 71% of those people who fly actually use our airport. Well, what about the other 29%? See this 13% to LAX? That's mainly international. You're going to the Pacific Rim, to China, or to Australia, or to somewhere like that, and the connectivity out of Fresno may not be the best to match up with the international flight. So we are seeing people driving to LA to catch that international flight. Same thing with San Francisco. On the international side, 9.5% of the people who fly in our area don't use our airport, they use San Francisco, mainly for international. 6.4% is other. Maybe you're going to drive to Sacramento, or you're going to go to San Jose or Burbank or something like that. So really a fairly small amount. So when you kind of strip away the international side, which we are working with the airlines on connectivity, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, really the majority of people really do use our airport because it's convenient, and what we like to market is living room to gate. Not Google Map, and it's only 3.5 hours to San Francisco or Los Angeles. But what does it take to get to your gate? It's more like probably 5.5 or 6 to Los Angeles, maybe 5 to San Francisco, depending on the parking situation, the checkpoint, getting through the checkpoint, and then just physically getting to the gate because they're such huge facilities. Growth. It's always on an upward trend. We're doing really good. We anticipate that to continue. I will tell you this, in the first 3 months, and we think April is the same, but the first 3 months of this year, it's over 10% growth every month, year over year, like January of last year to this year, February, March. 10% plus growth at our airport. So the planes are getting fuller, and the airlines are responding. Before I talk about this, I'll tell you the airlines. I met with United in Chicago. They are excited about our market. They are adding. They're adding flights to Los Angeles to help that connectivity. They are looking at adding another flight to Denver. Who knows, that may be a response to Frontier and what they're doing. So, and they're excited about Chicago. And American responded more recently, and they added some more flights to LAX. These airlines are understanding that connectivity piece is extremely important to ridership. So, what's going on? Well, how are we dealing with this growth? Real quickly, this is 2018. This is a picture of the gate area. It doesn't look like this right now, but it's the one that just passed Starbucks on the left. It's where Alaska has operated out of for a while. It's on the ground level. Don't go up the escalators, stay on the ground, right? So we are going to remodel that and open it wide open, get more seating. And on the outside, of the picture on the right, we're going to put a loading bridge. When you think of these things, you go upstairs and you get in the bridges, you go through one of the planes. This is opposite. This is on the ground and it goes up. So it's a ground loading bridge, what we call. So it'll be, one, a huge customer enhancement. You're not going outside anymore when you're on the ground, level gate. But two, we'll be able to accommodate larger aircraft with this thing. We'll be at 737s, Airbus A320s, 180-seat aircraft that we cannot do today out of this gate, and we're just getting busier and we're seeing larger aircraft. The other thing we're going to do over the next 12 months is increase our parking. We stand over on this side. So this is all up parking right now. This is 8 acres of dirt, so we're going to convert that into more long-term parking. We're going to move employee parking here and make more long-term here. In total, we're going to add about 700 more stalls. We just need it. We need it for two reasons. We're full at the holiday time. We're full, and you've seen it. We're full at summertime. And eventually, we're going to need a parking garage. But when you build a parking garage, you have to shut down 500 stalls to build the garage. Well, what do you do then? Where do you put those people? So this is a project looking to the future. So we anticipate having this done in the next 12 months. So that's pretty much in 18. So service in Mexico. Valeros, Aeromexico, full-size 180-seat aircraft. And they are, if many of you have used them, very full. We can go up to 4 flights a night. We've been working with Customs and Border Protection. We've changed their shift time. The airlines have responded. So at 8 times a year, we've got the U.S. Customs agree to allow us to have 4 flights in one night, and we have had that. In the off season, like now, we'll have anywhere from 1 to 3, depending on the night. And growth of this lies with the airline or the airport. It's customs. It's customs getting them to commit to more staff so we can have more operations. And that's really our focus. I'm fully engaged with our congressional delegation, both on the House side and the Senate side, sending our message so that they can send a message to Customs and Border Protection in Washington, D.C. about increasing staffing, about getting us the ability to accommodate even more flights than we have today. We didn't know if anybody knew this, but out of all the airports in the United States with direct service in Guadalajara region of Mexico, we are ranked 4th in the country. We send more people to that region of Mexico directly annually than any other place in the United States except for LAX, Chicago O'Hare, and we're not connected with San Jose, and who knows, we may actually pass them up. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's who we are. So here, real quickly, I'm almost done. In the next 10 years, we have facility needs of $140 million. And I will tell you, we got that. We got that covered. Through different funding sources, without really raising rates to the airlines and other folks, we got that covered. That's just taking care of the facilities. The master plan here is going to say, we're probably going to need to spend $110 million on the parking garage and expanding the terminal and doing this and that and the other thing. And we don't got that yet. We're working on it. We're working as part of the master plan. We have a financial roadmap we're creating to get there. Preliminary, I can tell you, yes, we can get there without overburdening anybody from a financial standpoint. I believe we really can, but that plan is in process. Oops. So, who remembers that? 1960s. Yep, you got some old photographs, and that brings back some memories. So that was the 60s. This was today. Just to give you a snapshot of, and I like this picture because of the aircraft. I mean, this is what we're seeing on a daily or nightly basis. It's not the small aircraft anymore, and it's just getting really, really busy. So with that, I'll stop here because I'm here to answer any questions. Nothing is off the table. Yes.
I've got two questions for you. The first, are you thinking of bringing on a TSA recheck line? And two, is there a reason that Mexico flights are being subsidized?
I have answers for both. We do have a TSA pre-check line. If you are registered for pre-check, when you put that in and you make your reservations, it's there. TSA has a dedicated line during their peak times. If you were to go there 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock morning and early afternoon, you won't see it because they're really not that busy. You can get right through, but it's there, and you can go to the front of the line. But yeah, there is a pre-check. We've got it. The reason that the Mexican carriers are red eyes is because customs facilities in Mexico do not open up until, I want to say 7 a.m. And so they time their flights to get there just around the same time that customs opens. And so I actually took a flight a couple of years ago to Guadalajara, and it was amazing, and maybe some of you have observed this too. The ramp, Guadalajara, by the way, is the second largest city in Mexico, with over 10 million people there. The airport is a major international hub for Mexico, and the ramp was filled, I don't know how many planes, all coming in around that same time, and the customs hall is huge in Guadalajara. And so they're all parked out on the ramp, and they have all these buses that all of a sudden on cue drive out to all these airplanes, and it's probably 40, 50 planes. And you get on the bus, and they take you to the customs hall, and you process. So it's really geared to the customs timing when they open, because many people go beyond Guadalajara, whether it's by car or by bus, to some of the outlying areas, and they just want to catch the bus schedules, which are in the morning, and get there in the daytime. So that's what they have told us.
Do you see any change? Do you foresee any change in the region flight after that?
I really don't. I mean, all the airlines are responsible. The FAA knows what they're doing. It's interesting. As soon as 60 Minutes came out with that, Allegiant came out with their statement. FAA came out with their statement, which we saw. And it's like any story. There's always more to the story, right? So, kind of the sad part of that whole, kind of the fallout of that whole situation was the airport is caught in the middle. So we're getting phone calls from families. Should I fly? We're going to Vegas for a trip or for business. Should I drive? We can't answer that for you, but we can tell you that, I would fly in. I don't have a problem with it at all. But, that's a personal decision. But I think it's kind of quieted down once they kind of got over that initial hype. So we don't really see an issue at all.
Southwest
Southwest County? I believe that, there was a narrative a few years ago, are we ever going to get them? And, the narrative was, we don't know, or if. I truly believe it's a scenario of, we're going to get them, the question is when. And that's really the narrative that we as an airport put forth with Southwest. We do talk to Southwest on a regular basis. We do feed them information about what's going on in our community and the demand and the synergies that we've got between the San Francisco Bay Area and the Los Angeles Basin. That's very important to them because California is their number one priority. And so, Southwest is watching what's going on in the market. They're watching what United is doing and American is doing. And we do talk to them. So I think that the answer is we'll get them. I don't know when, but it will eventually happen. And we can accommodate, if they were to call next week and say, you know what, we want to take a stab at this and we'll start this summer. They haven't done this, right? Don't misunderstand. We would be able to accommodate them. We'd be able to accommodate them today with our existing facilities. Parking would be an issue, but we could still do it. I mean, in terms of gates, in terms of counters, baggage claim, the airfield, runways, we got it. We could do it. It would be busy. Again, parking would be a challenge. It's one reason we're trying to address that immediately on the parking, not just because of that, but with other reasons. So yeah, I mean, I'm encouraged. I can't tell you if it's going to be 1 year, 2 years, or 5 years, but we're constantly feeding that information. And you know, when you talk to airlines, sometimes they want to talk to you, sometimes they don't. We've never had a scenario where Southwest says, "Well, we want to talk to you," or we ask for a meeting with them. It's going over too busy. They've always been very, very open and receptive to hearing what we have to say. So that effort is kind of nonstop. Our side.
Allegiant used to offer direct flights to Hawaii. Any other airlines doing that, or any possibility of Hawaiian Airlines?
No, not at this time. Allegiant pulled out not because flights were full, they were full. And they had 5 locations on the West Coast, and they pulled out of all 5. They pulled out because Allegiant lives and dies by, they're a travel company, selling the packages, the room card, the hotels, and things like this. When people were flying to Hawaii, they weren't buying the add-ons. They weren't making it. The numbers weren't working, and so they shut it down. They tried it and thought maybe it would work, but it's not an issue of filling the planes with them.
I worked in how well are you the trip? They start to do that area.
Yeah, in terms of the service that they provide. Yeah, and you bring up a good point. Even recently, we had some people who were late at night off, and the Hoosier wanted to shut down, right? So that has improved a lot. Especially since we built the new facilities, and they are required to provide the service. Our contract with them, they're required to provide the service no matter what time it is. It's just a matter of how you make the arrangements and communicate with them. So, for example, they now do a better job of monitoring the flights. If something comes in late, they will stay. Staff will stay until that last passenger is through. They know who's been in the car already or not. They will stay there until that flight has come in and been processed, so nobody's left behind. So that's something they hadn't been able to do that in the past, but they're definitely doing that now.
So just yesterday, we received a phone call to our office. Someone's family member was traveling from Mexico to Fresno. And they received a phone call saying that their family member had been detained because there was an issue with their visa. So they received a phone call saying that they were going to figure out what they were going to do with them. So at that point, what I did was I called the Mexican consulate and tried to see if they could help them to figure out where their family member was. After that one phone call, they didn't know where to go back. So is that the proper steps to take? Because the Mexican consulate said, well, because the family member was going to the airport and trying to ask how they can locate the family member. But they said, well, customs is separate from the airport itself. So if they were to the airport employee, they may not have that information. Is that correct? Or what are some of the
family member being detained by customs? Yeah, they asked me for money.
Yeah, no, they were detained by customs because there was an issue with their visa.
Yeah, I think you heard them explain a little bit. There's some scamming that's been going on, not related to that issue, but where you were getting calls from your family member being detained at the airport, you need to pay money to quickly release. The airport does not do that. It's absolutely. But, yes, if somebody's going through customs, that facility, you are not in the United States yet. You're in that facility. And if there's an issue with documentation, for example, there's a separate process you go through. So it may take longer for you to get to the facility. We've seen all these people come out into the lobby, and all of a sudden somebody, and it could be an hour later all of a sudden because they're working on documentation issues. So there really is no communication that occurs with Customs and Border Protection. They're not going to talk to anyone. Right? It's just, and nobody at the airport's going to know. My recommendation, if that happens, is that they talk to the airline. Because the airline staff is back in the customs facilities, and they may know what's going on with particular customers. It's not very often where somebody comes in and they're detained and then actually sent back to Mexico. Customs will do that, but that doesn't happen too often. And usually what it's done is because of a problem with documentation. Right? But it does happen. So they will do that. So they can't do the nice. There's actually a set of double doors in the facility. When you go through those doors, you are now in the United States. Right? So but no, we don't know what's really going on in that facility. They won't say anything to anybody. So it's patience and communication with the airlines. Probably the best thing to do if somebody's not coming through that.
First off, I feel like you have a great attitude towards great things about that. And I'd love to see Southwest like here also. But I have a comment. I hear a lot of comments in the community from people that say, well, I love to fly, what's on the point? But then they say, I hate to fly because it's that trick to that TSA and all that. And, they go through it and they hate the Gestapo type attitude of TSA. I don't know if you have anything involved with that or anything influence, but sometimes you come in there and it's almost like you say, all right, you're guilty of crime, so now let's look through all your stuff, see who's really innocent. Instead of say, hey, I'm sorry, this is what we have to go through, and I'll say something. Is there any way to get a better attitude of it? And Fresno is probably a little better than it used to be, but still, it's like you almost like, if you reach for something, look at that. And so, do you have any influence in that area?
We don't have any influence in it. However, what we do encourage is that people tell us if they feel they're mistreated, if they feel that somebody didn't have the right attitude or just the right approach to the process they went through, tell us. What we do, we will reach out to our contact with TSA locally. And, hey, look, we had this happen, we look into this. And TSA's management here on a local level has been really, really good to work with. They're very responsive. They really do care about that. But it doesn't mean that something gets in somebody's head that's the front line that creates this negative experience for the traveler. So it does happen, and we want to know about it when it does, so we can relay the information back to management so they can address it. Oh, no more questions? Good. This was good.
Like you had one in the back over there. I think you might have had one in the back over there.
Oh.
From what you were talking about, I actually flew back from Portland, Oregon recently, and as I got into the bathroom, the line to get your bag checked and all the security, there was a really nice young man that came up to me and about myself and four people behind me had the card, wrote a time on it, and then asked us to hand it to the next person asking about security, and that was their way of checking how long it took people to get through. Do you guys do something like that so that you can try to find ways to expedite it?
TSA actually does do that. They do, I don't know the system they use, but they do track how much time they have staff. They actually time it. Somebody in line will look back here, how long did it take that person to get up? They do that. And they're actually required to do that by that federal agency is required. They have timelines that we're supposed to commit to, and if it exceeds the timelines, they have to report that, and that goes back to staffing levels, and if it goes down or not, is that one of the things? So they do it here, but it may not be that Texas. It probably happens, but we just don't know about it. It's just interesting in that particular location that you do it because it's really hard to get into it.
And then also a question you had mentioned that there could be accommodating larger aircraft. I don't remember if you said or.
Well, the airlines are flying in larger aircraft. Even the United's got mainline 737 San Francisco now. United says that as Denver market grows, they'll transition out of smaller to larger aircraft. What we're doing is we're improving gate areas to accommodate more aircraft that are larger. For example, we have 6 loading bridges right now. And this will be the 7th we're going to put in. This will be a huge, huge deal. Because all it takes is one airline to arrive early, another one late, and we're going to start having conflict. So we are improving the capacity of our facility so the airlines can continue to grow. They're going to come no matter what. You can't stop them from coming. We want them to come. We just got to make sure our facilities is on top of it. Great group. I appreciate it.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited about all the new changes that are happening there for the airport and the Amtrak. It's a benefit all people in Central Valley. At this time, I want to say thank you to all our new members and welcome all of our new members here. And if any of our new members are here, any representatives that come up and talk, say a few words about you. Thank you to our new members, law offices of Goldberg and Gara, Vortal, Price Page and Company, Access Plus Capital, and Neuro Communication Solutions. Thank you for all our new members. I'm going to welcome our new members, and if a representative from one of your companies here would like to say a few words that come up. So our new members Performance, Outcome and Associates, Office Refund, and Angels of Grace.
With Performance Outcomes and Associates. I've been doing that kind of job, that profession for over 20 years. I have a small business. What I do is, I was talking to Abe this morning, and I do organizational development, leadership training. But really what I do, if you want to talk about layman's terms, I go into organizations and I assess the health of that organization. And I assess goals that they need to meet and if they're being profitable. And what I do is, I've been working for large organizations like Dreyer's Ground Ice Cream and Continuous Improvement. I've worked for ag companies, for nonprofits, and really, we're human beings. We have to get along as teams, and sometimes the reason why we're not hitting our mark or we're not being profitable is because of there's inner issues, interrelationship issues within the teams. Or maybe someone is not in the place where they should be, or they're not trained accordingly. But I really like to focus on image, on customer service, and I'm also bilingual, so I do a lot of work in Spanish and English for individuals out preferably with a wonderful program recently. For the last 8 years, I've worked for wonderful orchards and been able to work with the teams there. But I really like to go into small businesses as well. I have case studies to show that my time there was profitable. So my tagline is inspire performance, expect results. Many times we go in and we inspire our teams, but the follow-up is the tough part. Getting to the point where there's one toxic individual that's really hurting everyone else, or there's one process that hasn't been improved, or that kind of thing. So I go in there, and I've been doing this again for over 20 years. I own my own small business. I relocated to Fresno 3 years ago, and I'm excited to start working in the Fresno area and stop traveling as much as I do. But I'm excited to be a part of this organization as well and see what comes of it. So that's me. Thank you. I hope I have my cards if anyone needs me.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Jessica Mullins, and I'm the loan consultant for Opportunity Fund here in the Central Valley. Opportunity Fund is a UCFI out here in Fresno, so we generally who we help are the underserved business owners who don't qualify for traditional lending due to credit, kind of business, or whatever the case may be. We're able to help the customer or the business owner with their working capital needs while working in technical assistance organizations like the Fresno Area Science Foundation to reach the ultimate goal for them to become available through traditional means. So thank you. Thank you to all of our new members, and thank you for all the members who came today to our breakfast meeting. And for everybody who's not a member, like I said earlier, my name is Angie, and I would love to answer any of your questions about becoming a member, becoming a part of the foundation, and how we can help you and your business grow and thrive in the community.
Thank you, Angie. So just as a final reminder, we're always looking for ways how we can continue helping our small business community and keeping ourselves informed of all of the resources out there available. Next week, if you know anybody in the city of Coalinga, we're going to be starting a workshop series in Coalinga. We have small business workshops that are going to be in Spanish, helping the Hispanic community there. We also have a revolving loan fund that we're going to start lending to businesses in Coalinga. So if any of you know anybody there, please send them our way. We'd love to help them out. And of course, if there's anything else that we can do to help your business, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you so much for joining us today. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.